All right, welcome to another episode of the Middle-Aged Metalhead. And today we're going to be talking about a brand new album. But before that, returning to the Middle-Aged Metalhead podcast is Faiz from Amorphia, Anorectal Ulceration, and Nauseate.
Thanks, okay. Thanks for having me again. It's going all good here. How are things on your end?
Yeah, good. It's been a while since we did this. But yeah, like I said, today we're going to be talking about a new album from a band that's been 27 years in the making, I think. Their last album came out 1999, and this is Crimson Glory and their brand new album Chasing the Hydra, which is due out for release around the 14th of April on BraveWords Records. And Crimson Glory, of course, formed in, I think, around 83, released two absolute classic albums of US heavy metal, prog metal, whatever you want to call it. Their self titled debut in 86, their second album, Transcendence, in 88. After that, they did release one more album called Strange and Beautiful in 91, I think, before they originally split up, led by the absolutely fantastic frontman Midnight, who sadly passed away in 2009. So now they're back with Chasing the Hydra. Three of the original members are still with the band. And Faiz, initial thoughts?
Yeah, it's a classic band which we all have loved and one of the best bands for all USPM fans, right? And they've been absent for a long time. We'd made peace with the fact that they were never going to come back because of them being on hiatus for such a long time. And when they announced a comeback, there was a lot of excitement around with the new lineup, two new members. And but my initial thought about this was that they would just play a couple of shows and festivals and remain as a live band. I did not think they would make new music until I read in their booklet, which was released on the Roadrunner Years CD, that they were gonna write new material. So that's a little bit of a nervous creating situation for fans, right? You've made peace with the band, you've loved those albums, and you're fine with these kind of classic bands not coming back because you didn't have an option, right? And all of a sudden you hear these things, there is a mixed feeling, right? You be happy on one side, on the other side. You don't want the legacy to have a black spot in the discography. So all sorts of mixed feelings, and that's where it was at. And then this was until they dropped the first single. That changed a lot of things for me. And I think they did a good call by choosing that song because it was the title track, if I'm remembering correctly, right? It has a callback riff from an old album. I would not say they rehashed it because it was a short callback, you know.
Yeah.
This helps in handling the nervous aspect of the fans, and I really like that they did. I don't know if everybody would agree, and if people will think, okay, these guys are doing the same thing, rehashing their old riffs. No, that helped in uh, settling the initial worry down, and then
Yeah.
it shows that you're meeting an old friend whom you've not met in, I don't know, forever, 1, 2 decades. And your initial thought before you meet them would be like, have they changed so much that you don't even recognize them anymore? Which is not the case here. So that was a good one, what they did with that. And it doesn't stick on that throughout the song or the album. It's just a few moments where it shows that you're not getting something new altogether. Crimson Glory is still there in it,
Yeah.
right? What were
Yeah.
your initial thoughts, DK?
Yeah, I think I echo that completely what you said. Like the callback to Red Sharks, right, on
Yeah,
the title song, that put a smile on my face. Like I was happy. It didn't feel
exactly.
like they were rehashing anything. It was Crimson Glory, but at the same time, it was new, but it was also, you knew it was the same band, but you knew the music was maybe a little new sounding. So that got me quite excited. And then, yeah, the two other singles that followed, pretty good again. But I think overall, when we heard the full album, I think it was, yeah, like all my doubts were settled pretty much. Classic band back, legacy is safe and secure. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
The title track even has a phenomenal chorus. There's a great way how
yeah,
they're phrased with the guitars, right? It creates like nice tension and resolves it. That was a win for me when I heard the single for the first time, right
yeah,
there. On one side, we had the old Crimson Glories essence, and on the other side, we got something this epic, and I was sold right there. I was very happy. It put down all the doubts I had about the album.
yeah, absolutely. What did you think of the songwriting overall?
It's great. There are some callbacks outside of the title track, like for example, on the third song, uh, Broken Together. There are hints of In Dark Places. I will not say it was as close as the title track is to Red Sharks, but
Yeah,
it will remind you of In Dark Places here and there. Again, a great thing because it doesn't lose the grip of what we know of Crimson Glory all of a sudden. And there are very few callbacks like that. There's a lot of melodic work, a lot of guitar harmonies, and overall, on the songwriting aspect, they lean more towards prog than power
yeah,
aspect. Great vocals. That was another thing, all eyes on vocals because you know how
yeah,
Midnight's reputation was, right? He's done a great job. There are spots in the album where you feel like he's phrased it like how King Diamond does. It's
yeah,
not all falsetto. It's
hmm,
not, I'm not talking about that side of King Diamond. I'm talking about how the layering of backing vocals are done and how they
yeah,
work in tandem with the main vocals.
yeah,
It's not, I would not have noticed this if I was listening to it, letting it play in the background. I was actively listening to it and I immediately, right, on the first song itself, Rid in the Sun, right? Uh, you notice these things.
yeah, true. Yeah. Also, I think the transition from part to part, like it flows so smoothly throughout the album. Like with a lot of modern prog metal, at least, very often feels like things that are just stitched together. Like you have a melodic part, a complex proggy part, then the chorus, then a solo. But here, everything just flows really nicely. So overall, and the vocalist, yeah, I really like this new guy. And it kind of reminded me of Jeff Tate and maybe even Warrell Dane at times. But I think with the layering, like you said, the background vocals, his phrasing, it works really well. It feels like he was probably a part of these songs right from the start.
Yeah,
It's not like they wrote the songs and then just got the vocalist to come in and lay down the vocals.
definitely. I agree with the part where you said it reminds you of Jeff Tate of the early Queen's
Yeah,
right? To me, it feels like he's got when they say homework done, right? This
yeah,
is what I feel it is. He's got the influence of the early USPM, kept it intact, and layered it on this album. And the
yeah,
flow is phenomenal. Song one, it introduces itself as, this is new Crimson Glory. You have something old, something new. It's not completely old, it's not something completely different. It's a mix of both and packaged very well. So that's how I see the first song as, and from there it goes into the title track, which was released as the first single. It keeps that momentum going even here, and then it goes into Broken Together, the third
yeah.
song, where yeah, so it flows phenomenally well. Say midway on the album around song five,
Hmm.
you've you've met your friend, you've seen what it is, you've uh, the introduction part is done. It has
Yeah.
revealed who it is, what it is, how it has changed, and everything. What now from here, from song five? Because all the new things that you needed to know from them, you already know. But and again, part two of the nervousness starts here for me when I was on the midway because now I'm aware of what the new Crimson Glory sounds like 4 to 5 albums down, right? And it does a great job midway. It uses very Middle Eastern samples, sort of like a movie, right? And
Yeah.
creates a nice drama and a very theatric with all the synth and
Mhm.
multiple layering of melodies and great bass work, by the way. Yeah,
Oh, terrific. The bass playing on this album from start to finish, and the bass sound also. Like, very rarely you hear the bass so thick and upfront in like a USPM band, right? Usually they're just either following the drums or just following the guitar. Here, the bass is like one proper individual instrument. I loved the way it sounded. Yeah. But yeah, you
yeah,
were talking about Indelible Ashes, right? The
yes,
song. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so the bass playing, you'll see that there are moments where he's running with the melodies, and then there are
Huh.
moments where the tremolo picking is going on, right? He's just holding the rhythm with the drums. He's not
Yeah.
going with it, giving room for the other string instruments to breathe while locking with the drums. Great bass work, yeah, end to end. Nothing on the bass side that I would have liked different. In fact, it the kind of low end it adds on the overall album. When you
Mm.
finish the album and you think that okay, it's heavy, and a lot of
Yeah.
that heaviness comes from how the bass is recorded and mixed, and
Yeah.
of course the playing as well.
Yeah. Really solid stuff. Uh, any things you didn't like about it?
Yeah, around the sixth song, I would say that is Beyond the
Beyond the
Unknown.
Unknown. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked the album to pick pace I mean, get faster because I've
Mm.
seen a good variety so far, right? One thing that
Yeah.
I did not see yet is them going like really fast.
Mm.
I'm not saying say extreme metal fast, but uh, there was a room for them to do that. I'm not sure if probably it wasn't in their headspace when they're writing it. It did not match the mood or vibe, but that's something that I felt the album lacked in a tiny bit.
Mhm.
It would have added another dimension to the album,
Yeah.
because it has everything. One thing that it does not have is this. Another thing is on the last song, and even on some of the other songs, right, where the clean guitars and the distorted guitars are mixed, you'll hear the vocalist use the low end style
Yeah.
of singing, right? That's also something that could have been used more than what
More.
it is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing on the last album intro, for example, on the last
Mhm.
song intro,
Song,
for
no?
example,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would have loved to hear more of that because he's belting. Most of the times he's belting high notes as though he has something to prove or
Mm.
done, continue the reputation Midnight built on how he
Yeah.
belted. That's good, but would have loved to hear something like Take Hold or The Flame, right? On the
How?
intro, how just it goes on
Yeah.
baritone or the low end. I would have loved to hear these 2 or 3 things on the album that I,
True.
yeah,
Yeah. Also, I think the vocalist, Travis Wills, I think his name is.
yeah,
But yeah, especially when he has such a good lower register, I think it would have been cool if he had used it a little more. Because like his range seems to be fantastic. It's not He's not just capable of only the highs. I think he can do a terrific job on the lower end as well, especially like we saw on that last song. But yeah, a little bit of variety there would have been good. And then I think, yeah, Beyond the Unknown, right? That sixth song didn't really work for me. That was that
yeah,
one spot on the album where I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But after that, again, the last three songs really pick things up again. I think
Definitely.
what Pearls of Dust, that was also a really good song.
Yeah.
There was no proper ballad, right? Like that epic ballad, like let's say Lady of Winter. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's like I don't want transcendence again, but at the same time, I also want transcendence again. So I know it's like a little unfair criticism, but yeah, like one epic ballad would have been killer. Yeah.
No, I know what you mean because
Um,
when they released the second single, I thought that was it. The way
yeah.
it starts, right?
Mhm.
I thought that was it. That was Lady of Winter or Lonely
Yeah.
or something very epic, but it starts like that. It doesn't it doesn't
Yeah.
continue to be a ballad. It goes back into what it is. But it's like a cool, super cool chorus, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, this is where his vocals really shine, and
Mm.
he's not just filling in and doing a serviceable job, though he pulls tension on the chorus and line after line it increases. It that was the highlight on that song for me. And all the doubts about whether Crimson Glory got a good vocalist or not were put to rest on that song, second single.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thoughts on the production?
Oh, before we go there, there's one more thing I noticed. They've anchored a good chunk of the album on a little bit of a groovy approach, a little bit
Mm.
of a modern prog style.
Yeah.
That being said, on the most of the songs, they have used a melodic thread from another guitar or
Mm.
vocals to stitch these choppy
Yeah.
pieces together, and it works very well for
You're
the
talking
most part.
about the chug 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 kind of
Yes,
riffs, right? Huh.
yes,
Yeah.
pauses and chugs.
Mm.
A lot of that's one common pattern I noticed on the rhythm, on the resting bits, right? Where
Yeah.
they have some, I won't say fillers, that would be a very
Mm.
wrong word because it's not that. It's
Yeah.
slowing down before you build up something else.
Yeah. Correct.
True.
I would say maybe like the bridge between the different parts. Yeah, they often go
Yeah.
into that mode. Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
that's a good call out. But yeah, the production.
Production, interest, so we've noticed two kinds of productions now, right? Bands trying hard to remain on the 80s retro sound
Mm.
somehow doesn't sound completely like that on one side. On the other side, going completely modern and polished. This is neither.
Yeah.
And I like the balance they have here. So they it has good, nice and live drums, proper fat bass. I don't know if I don't know what to make of the guitar sound because I was fully occupied with how the songs were written and the music itself,
Mm.
right? Uh, One thing I did notice though, which I already called out, is how the bass is. It's massive in the mix. So no complaints here on the
Yeah.
production part. Sometimes the production's so bad that it's a turn off even
Mm.
though the music is good, right? And this is not the case. I think it does what it's supposed to do. No
Yeah.
disappointments here. First good thing, and it's good. It's I won't say I will not use it as an example for future albums to
Yeah.
use, right? Like this is how it should sound. I won't do that, but definitely a good way on okay how you can still continue and not fuck it up.
Yeah. True. And I think for like songs that are so layered with so many different things happening, I think the production did a really good job of capturing all of it. Like it's loud, but I wouldn't call it like brick world,
Yeah.
right? You can still hear everything that's happening, and that bass sound, yeah, I couldn't get enough of it. That was really, really solid. Yeah. So,
None
let's
of
say
the layers are buried either.
they're not. Yeah, correct.
And
that you can hear every.
the harmonies and melodies, there are synths here and there, synth
Yeah,
sections. They come and go. They will not grab all your attention, but they'll
yeah,
add a nice feel to it, and they'll do their job and go out.
yeah,
Love how it's layered there.
true. Really good stuff. And so 5 albums in their discography, right? Where would you put Chasing the Hydra?
So the first two is gonna they're gonna remain on the
Yeah,
top two. They're not gonna move. And a while ago, I listened to Strange and Beautiful, and I realized I was too harsh on it before. I like it. Um, Probably a topic of discussion for another day. Um, I'm split here. It's definitely better than Astronomica for sure. There's no doubt about
100%.
it.
Yeah.
Will it be three or four for you? Before I had not thought about this. I
Uh, for
did
me,
think
it's
about, yeah,
for me it's a clear three because I went
three.
back to Strange and Beautiful as well. That was the
Hmm.
one album that I never really paid too much attention to for some reason. But and it's all right, but I didn't uh, love it.
Hmm.
Whereas the so for me it's like Transcendence, Crimson Glory, Chasing the Hydra. I think this sits comfortably below the first two. Yeah,
It's safe to say that.
yeah.
My thought on Strange and Beautiful is slightly better now than what it
Uh,
was. I realized I was too harsh,
mm,
and that sentiment was resonating a little more when I was thinking if I would place Chasing the Hydra there. Yeah, I'll place it on the third one because I can see myself going back to Chasing the Hydra more than Strange and Beautiful in the coming days and weeks, right?
yeah, true. And I think this really needs repeated listings to just get everything that's happening. And it really rewards repeated listings as well. Because the more I listened to this, the more those songs started to become like proper earworms. Yeah.
There are so many layers there, right?
Yeah.
And small sections I was talking about. You can't unpack all of those in one listen. And
Yeah.
and I agree with that when you said it's rewarding because each listen you'll start uncovering or noticing some layer which you would have not noticed in the previous listen.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's say rating of 0 to 10, 0 being least and 10 being absolute classic.
Oh, these are very difficult questions. Okay, before we get there, um, I want to add a little on what we spoke about in the beginning, right? We have sentiments with the band. They were
Mm,
inactive for a long time. First of all, them coming back, it's a great thing. We are very happy about it. And then them re revealing that they would release an album. Okay. Nervousness. Upon listening to the singles and the album, all of that was put on hold, right? So, as a fan, I would say thank you for doing this. So, definitely want to rate it high. And before doing that, the few things that we spoke about, right, will prevent me from giving it a 10 on 10. I would say 7.5 on 10,
yeah,
but this should exist. This uh, definitely satisfies the excitement they created by announcing their comeback, by announcing the live line tours and gigs, and then the album. How
absolutely. I
about
think
you?
that's a, yeah, I think that's a fair score and good points. I'd give it an 8, I think, in the sense that this is something that I would want to own on CD, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Great artwork
uh,
as well.
yeah. Mm.
You
But
know what sorry, finish. Go ahead.
no, I was saying that was a fair score. 7.5 to 8, I think, is solid. I think if you're already a fan, then there's a ton of stuff here that you're going to love. If you've never heard it before, then maybe the first 2 albums are a better starting point. But yeah, since we are already fans of the band, this was very welcome. Yeah.
Absolutely. When I saw the artwork, right, I was hoping they would use a blue theme like Transcendence. Would have worked well. What are your thoughts on it? It's, I don't know. For me, I've mm, associated Crimson Glory with a blue themed
Yeah.
artwork because of Transcendence.
So, no, I did. I like the artwork mainly because I also thought it was just like, the right kind of cheesy, like the Hydra, the dragon imagery, the color scheme. I liked the all the bright colors that were popping. So yeah, I quite liked it. Mm. Cool. Any closing thoughts?
Um, I think with the prog leaning approach on the album, if there are people who've not listened to them and if they're gonna try this album for the first time, I think a lot of prog fans, the newer prog fans, will like it. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think newer prog metal fans will find plenty to like on this album. Overall, just a really, really solid comeback, and yeah, I'm very glad this album actually happened. Yeah.
Oh, I want to thank the label for sending us an early copy for us to listen and review
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
absolutely. Yes, thank you very much for the promo copy. That was very cool.
The box sets and the LPs are sold out. I
Sold out, right?
saw
Yeah.
those. Yeah, that's a good sign, right?
Yeah,
Can't
it
wait
is.
to get a copy of my own,
Yeah.
a physical copy.
Hopefully we can get it because, yeah, I don't know, shipping from the US. Hopefully somebody will be kind enough to source it for us.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Crimson Glory and their comeback album, first new album in 27 years, like I said, Chasing the Hydra. Absolutely solid comeback, something to appeal definitely to the longtime fans and also to new fans. And looking forward to when the album comes out officially. Go check it out, support the band, and if you're lucky enough to catch them live, then yeah, please go ahead, drop a comment, let us know what you thought of the album as well once it comes out, and let us know what your favorite Crimson Glory albums are. And this is Middle Aged Metalhead. Stay metal, stay safe. Cheers.